The Prism Crystal Summoning event is officially over, and I thought to make a video for you guys today talking a little bit about it because it's a surprise. All right, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I've got 25 Prism Crystals. You can get up to 60, and then the system will automatically summon for you if you had more than that. And since I didn't have more than that, I have 25 saved for the next time that one of those comes. Should be in like 3 weeks from now, maybe after the next fusion is over or around the time that it is over. So Prism crystals and their summons are very interesting. So with some discussion on the official content creator Discord, I found out that yes, they don't have any plans of adding those in terms of getting points for Summon Rush, because this Summon Rush, we had it available, but it gave 0 points when using your Prism crystals, which I find very interesting. Since Prism crystals are basically white shards, they introduce the red shards, they give points, but what about the white shards? I don't see a reason why those shouldn't have been included here, since they can give you points for summoning tournaments, which we didn't have any available at the time. It was very interesting to think about. But what was also interesting was the fact that throughout the whole week, we were not offered many tournaments or events to participate in order to pick up some crystals for ourselves and maybe do 1, 2, 3 summons, right? And you might think, okay, coldbrew, how many summons do you want to do when these big champions like Rotos, Newt, I think Brogni was also in the summoning pool, and many other good legendaries, very limited legendaries, but very good ones. And especially Rotos and Newt, I think lots of people summon just specifically for those. How many events or tournaments do you want to see? Well, I would have expected more than 2 tournaments, all right? More than 2 tournaments available. So we have the Dragon and the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournaments. So the Dragon tournament, you needed to pick up, I think it was around 3,000 points. I picked up about that amount to get the 20 Prism Crystals, plus a little bit more since I was farming for CVC. And that was 20 Prism Crystals, which I considered easy. And then we had the Sand Devil tournament. This can be easy, but there's not that many teams that have a good win rate, and you can see it very clearly right from here. Look at this. Only 2 persons in a group of 100 bother to even pick up the 4,000 points required for the 40 Prism Crystals. It just shows on how difficult Sand Devil is at the moment, even after so long it's been out, and second on how little people value 40 crystals in general. But actually, Plarium values 40 crystals, 60 crystals, 1 summon, about the same price as 1 sacred shard. So if you remember, guys, when the packs were up, the pricing for those were about $15 for a complete summon, which seemed kind of unreasonable, but when you consider it was a 12% chance for a legendary, it kind of made sense. There's no pity whatsoever, so you were just buying those and wishing for the best, right? I seen some summoning videos. I think Hell Hades posted one where he spent $250 and he bought a good number of Prism Crystals and only managed to pick up, I think, 2 legendaries or 3 or something. So the cost is there, and it's very obvious. Those Prism Crystals events are for the big whales who want to spend, who want to go heavy to pick up some empowerments for very specific legendaries. And the time we'll get Void legendaries in there, it's gonna be insane. I think the cost will be 100 Prism Crystals for 1 summon, and we'll definitely have 0 events or tournaments for that. I guarantee it, guys. It will be so difficult to get them, and Flagon will just try to bait the whales to buy up lots of Prism Crystals, which will be interesting to see if it actually happens. So my thoughts on it. All right, for the second part of the video, what is Plarium supposed to do to improve it a little bit, if they ever bother to do it? Well, my thoughts were include more events and tournaments. You have all of these going on at the same time. Artifact Enhancement has nothing in here to give you the Prism Crystals. Summon Rush, the same thing. While this was on, it started when the Prism Crystals week was also going, right? Dungeon Divers, the same thing, right? No rewards here. This is just the basic rewards we all get. And then, of course, the tournaments right here. These could have been ideal, maybe not in the champion training tournament, which goes on right now for the souls. I think this is on a separate league of its own, and people compete for the 4-star. But I would say maybe the classic arena takedown, instead of having the 750 coins right there, you could have had maybe 20 Prism Crystals. So in my thoughts, having just 60 available up for grabs, and especially 40 of them in a Sand Devil tournament, is a little bit too much and a little bit too hard for the majority of players out there who want to feel like they have a chance to get something free to play. And I'm giving these air tags or whatever these are called because it's not that easy to complete a tournament and a Sand Devil tournament in a couple of days. The amount of energy you needed for the Dragon tournament was about 3,000 and the Sand Devil about 4,000, assuming you had something like an 80 to 90% win rate. Not all teams have a 100% win rate on this dungeon. It's not that easy of a dungeon to get 100% win rate, and especially on the hardest difficulty on stage 25. So with that in mind, I think these should be additionally added on tournaments and events, but then also shake it up a little bit. Since we have things coming in when the week was going on for Prism Crystals and the mini mix pack, this updates as the weeks pass. You will notice it updating with different things going on. I've noticed it myself lately. They've introduced mortal soul stones in there for some days of the week. They've introduced Prism Crystals when the minimum price jumps up to $9.99 for one Prism Crystal plus all the other stuff that this pack has. So instead of the ancient is either a Prism Crystal or a soul stone. They also do that with the Prism Crystals, all right? So soul stones, you know, the primal shards and Prism Crystals, those rotate. So the same thing can go on for the shop. We either have for Arena, which is basically the Tag Arena shop right here. They could introduce some kind of system where something rotates here, maybe the Sacred Shard or the Void Shard, and for that same price, we pick up enough of those Prism Crystals so we can actually go and do one guaranteed summon. So if we are somebody that saves up, we know that the rotation will come, this will refresh, and we'll have one brand new for us. By the way, I need to pick these up. And then also the other shop that we all have available and pretty much have some currency just sitting there and doing nothing is this one. This is the Clan shop, which I do think needs a little bit of revamp, since it's a great shop. It provides a lot of things, but maybe if you add a little bit more shards in here, maybe a Sacred Shard, Prism Shards as well, Prism Crystals, this would have been a way better alternative to what we have right now, since the item pool I think is a little bit lacking and especially a little bit random with these Chaos Ores not appearing for a long time now. And you see it from how many coins I have, you know, just sitting there. I'm even buying silver at this point because I have no reason to buy pretty much anything else. So my point is, Plarium, please just add more ways for us to pick up Prism Crystals. It doesn't have to be just 2 tournaments for 1 week. I think that's a little bit too weak. I think it's a little bit too much, and it would have made a lot of people interested to push a little bit more in different areas of the game, not just 2 specific dungeons, being the Dragon and the Sand Devil, which I think kind of suck. Maybe if they had more dungeons here, you know, available with Prism Crystal, maybe even Phantom Shogun, I think it's a little bit easier than Sand Devil. Minotaur could have been something fun, something that they've never done before. They've discussed about this before with Minotaur included in tournaments, but they've never done it. They just hinted that they might think about it. So that was pretty much it. So yeah, guys, this was the video for today, talking a little bit about the Prism Crystal, just a chill one, if I'm being honest. And yeah, I'm just sitting at 25. Next time it comes around, who knows what the requirements is. Maybe it's 40, maybe it's 80, maybe it's 100. Who knows? I'm just interested to see these changes that Plarium does with Prism Crystals, since I already knew it from day one that this would be their system of adjusting the pricing of the Prism Crystals for one summon. Well, depending on the rarity of the champions in the pool. So it's very interesting, and they've already included Void Epics in there in the past. So I wonder when they'll include Void Legendaries on how much the pricing will differ, how much more expensive that will be, and how the odds are going to be different. So the highest we had so far was 60, but with 12% on a legendary, which is quite good. But if we all know the odds for sacreds, when we have a 2x on sacreds, you can go 20 summons and still not get a legendary. So 20 summons on Prism Crystals would have been insanely expensive, and definitely not worth it if by the end you pick up nothing. So anyway, this was the video. Thank you all for watching. What are your thoughts? Leave them down below. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.